Would you like some shitty players to podcast about a game they're not good at?
What's up, Digidestin? Thank you for listening to the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast. Make sure to join the Cataclysmic Cardboard Discord server via the link in the description. And now, let's jump into the digital world.
So we can talk about that again.
Oh, Craig.
Help. What a 2 weeks.
It's
been
definitely
wild.
It's been a trip.
Let's see. We didn't go to locals the week before because it was Mother's Day. Who goes plays cards on their Mother's Day?
That's right. Shout out to all the moms out there. All the
Yeah,
mothers.
but see, Corbin's holding their store championships on Father's Day though, so I got CM to move theirs, and now Corbin's doing it.
Well, see, Kelsey was like, "If that's what you really want to do," and I'm like,
that's what Shay said. She's like, "You can go play cards on Father's Day," and I was like, "Well,
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I might.
I definitely want to try to go see him at least.
Yeah,
At least go to one. If we go to both and then get the sister mons, then you'll have a blinged out deck. But
What's going on at CN?
the store championships are the 4th, I believe, is what they moved them to.
yeah. Now I can't go to see him sadly on the 4th. We're getting ready for my wife's doing Bible school, so we gotta prep for that week. That weekend.
But yeah, this last weekend, we all got to go to locals. It was just us 4 again.
Actually, a topic of conversation this week is, are we too competitive?
Yeah. we say we play Jank, but I don't know. I guess
Even when we're playing Jank, we're playing to win. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like we talked about, I was saying that, and so guys, I had a meltdown at locals. I took Jessmon, and Jessmon's been one of my favorites since BT5, but he's went up and down, and I took it. Did really good for the most part, but then I've been in a lull with Digimon, like just kind of in a rut. Went and played against Drew in the second round, and he's playing Imperial Dramon. Yeah, he didn't bring Jank, which that's another topic.
I don't know. It's not your normal OTK Imperial. It's more control-y. I like playing when I can give the other player 2 memory and then steal it back.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean it hurt the deck, and then of course I lost game 1 and game 2, and then we switched decks. Drew was going to try to make me feel better, and he gave me Imperial, which I'm pretty comfortable with, and then he took Jessmon, which he was no clue. Red.
I had to read every single card.
Yes. And of course the deck popped off. Like perfect scenario to play out mine. Like I get up into Imperial on Dragon mode. He literally gets into Jessmon X antibody and pierces. It was just, it ran perfect. And so I lost against my deck because it had not ran like that for me. So it didn't help my Digimon crisis, my midlife Digimon crisis I was having that day.
Not in the slightest. I was like, make him feel a little better, and then I opened the God Hand, and
the deck was just like, nah, you're gonna climb from level 4 to level 7 in one turn and just run him over.
It was but it was nice because I was like, okay, so the deck does run. The deck can go. But
it worked.
Well, like we said, we always say we bring Jank, which we have. We have. I mean, I brought Gammamon and not even security control, Venusmon, quote unquote control.
The last time when Mega Sweaty and them came to play with us, shout out to them for driving like 2 hours to come play cards with us. I took Bagra Army with some Dark Knight splash in it, and it was terrible. But it's what it is.
What are those guys? They call themselves Team Demon Lord, right?
Yes, Team
Yes.
Demon Lord.
Yeah.
Demon Lords.
And then they kind of go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna say I'm not gonna say that I play Jank because honestly I really haven't. Like all of the decks that I've brought, I've played Mervamon, Merva Loop specifically. I've played Gallantmon a ton, and I've played Black War a ton before and after he got OP. I played him a ton. But I've never really played a Jank deck. The closest to Jank I've ever played was really early on when I first got into the card game around the BT8 era. I was playing Gallantmon and I didn't have all of the pieces. I basically had 2 starter decks plus a few like tidbits here and there that I was playing. That's the closest I've ever played to Jank, honestly.
Which is where my starting port for Battle Spirits is going to be and stay. But that's another topic.
That's what you think.
Nope.
But
yeah. So, I mean, it was a good weekend. The boys got together and played.
you did pushed you for it. Is I wanted you to take it to the next. I want you to put your insane brain with a good deck.
I did it. And I almost had Tiny. We went into time in game 3, so it's
we tied and we went 1-1-1.
Yep.
I won 1, he won 1, and then the third round we tied. Like we ran out of time and we're both at 1 security at the end.
I got him to slide over a little bit on the throne and let me sit on the armrest. But it's a good time.
Still think Jordan threw the game just to make me feel better.
I don't think he did. He was having a rough day all day.
Yeah, he was struggling with Machine Dramon. It was not doing him any justice at all.
Jesmon ran like a dream that game. Good games though. But are we too competitive for our local scene?
I mean, Aussie and Red think so. Because they haven't been back in over a month.
I feel bad because this is my thought process late, like that night afterwards. I was like, it's not that I suck. It's that everyone around me that I play against is good. It's like, you know what I mean? Like when you can take a jank deck and not lose, you got to remember, you got to look at card games almost like soccer. A win is great, but a tie is good too. So ties are good.
Ties happen a lot in this game too.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going in there like you and you're not losing matches, it's win or tying. I mean, like I said, put a good deck in your hands, a meta deck in your hands. Scary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Coach Mikey's kind of pushed me into this, like I've said a couple times, jank to rank. So I guess we'll get a little bit more competitive. I'm going to try to go to the Gen Con regionals and play. So if anybody will be there, hopefully see you guys there. I also signed up for the online regional.
When's that all? Oops.
The one you sent that we both signed up for.
In July?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So far away though.
I know.
I keep forgetting. I can't forget.
I'll remind you.
Yeah. I need to put a date in my calendar right now, actually.
Yeah.
It's July 20. Those are hard to keep up with, guys.
It's like the 15th.
Yeah, 15th. Best Coast Regionals. Yeah.
I got a family reunion that afternoon, so it may be a 3-round drop, but if we do okay during those 3 rounds, I'll be like, hey, we'll stick around. So we'll see.
We shall see. I think they need to do better on the actual Bandai website of making the announcements for regionals or updating it faster, because they've added 4 or 5 regionals online and in person. And they've still only got like 2 dates listed on the actual website.
Their website's super clunky too. I don't. Yeah, so this weekend you're going to Momocon?
Yeah, I'm going to Momocon this weekend. I'll be doing like a little family vacation, and then I will be Saturday, maybe Sunday, but mostly Saturday. We'll be playing Digimon all day.
Let's hope you make it to Sunday. Do they do split days for the top cut or?
Yeah, they're doing split, and then I'm pretty sure it's going into 3v3 will be the side event you can do Sundays if you're not in top cut.
Heck yeah.
Which is cool.
Hopefully you
3v3s.
make it. Hopefully you make it to top cut. Are you gonna spoil what you're taking, or are you just gonna?
Well, tomorrow I'm hoping to test both decks, but I think I'm leaning more towards my roots with which did you I don't think I sent you all a picture of my spice. I don't think I'll reveal my spice. I'll reveal it to you guys in person. But we won't talk about the tweaks I made to the deck per se, but I've added I told y'all in Snapchat. I changed the upper end a little bit of my deck.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's going to help me some in a lot of matchups, period.
So what are you gonna be? What are you wearing? Are you gonna be wearing the New Jersey, or are you gonna be wearing?
I'll be running ADP. Run ADP, baby. I wanted to wear the jersey. It's just a little bit snug.
Oh, guess we'll have to throw the new logo on them. And I showed Grayson that new logo that Wholehearted did.
Shows off.
He said that one's kind of scary, and I said, "Well, you can do the other one for yours."
Which one's kind of scary?
The one that Wholehearted did.
Oh,
He's like, that one's a little scary, but he's excited to be a cataclysmic kid.
hey man, I love the Wholehearted one though.
Yeah, I can't wait to reveal that.
Literally thinking about a tattoo.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm full sending that.
I just don't know like where I'm going to get it and how big. Probably not huge, but decent enough.
It's gonna add to my skulls on my left arm. I just got all kinds of skulls already, so just another skull.
Good point. That would be good.
Yeah.
I hope I do. I think I'm a little more ruthless when I don't know the person.
Told you.
I I always want to help out, but it's like on that level. It depends on my opponent. I think if I see my opponent struggling or fumbling, I will be more willing to help out a lot more. But if they're like good old Mega Sweaty, I'll feel more comfortable.
Listen, you got to be out for blood.
It's hard for me because like growing up, like that's why I kind of gave up on sports it was hard for me to find the happy median. I'm either way too aggressive or I'm way too soft. I can't find a good middle range. I can't turn it off once it's on.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you have very good coach potential.
Yeah. I can do that. Yeah. I can be, like soft when I need to be, but then when I can be that guy that yells at if you want to be yelled at, I can yell at you in nice ways. But no, it is hard for me because like I said, I get really competitive and it brings out like an aggression in me. So it's like I always try to dial that back a lot. So, but against other people I don't know, it's less. I'll let the aggression out a little bit more.
Sorry, but whenever we play, I'm playing for blood.
Oh, now that I know that, or a draw or a loss. Is that something that we want to talk about? Not drawing or losing, but so we've talked about our locals, we talked about regionals and keeping up with Digimon regionals, which I won't say that we don't pay attention to that as much. I do, but I mean, I feel like sometimes it's hard to find out. Whereas with Battle Spirits or One Piece, I feel like it's always freaking popping up in my face, or in one of the other Discord channels. It's always like letting me know, like, hey, there's a tournament going on.
This happened.
Yeah, look at this. Go win a play mat. Go win a deck box. An actual deck box.
A real deck box, yeah.
Unlike Digimon, which is like, hey, go win some laminated cardboard.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you know what? We took an Ultra Pro side loader and put our own design on it. Here you go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that effort. I think that does get back in the old topic, though. Battle Spirits is done doing their promo stuff. When you win, you get promos. I felt like that hurt Dragon Ball Super, but that was also during a large COVID time when we couldn't play. So I still don't know how I feel about that. Like the prizing, I think playmats, deck boxes, Battle Spirits has got a lot of crap for winning. Playmats, deck boxes, and it's got several different tiers. One Piece, it's really not that much better than Digimon. Like, yeah, they do have a playmat and a deck box and stuff, but promo cards, things like that, it's about equal, really. Unless you win, unless you're winning. It's about the same as just coming out for Digimon.
I don't know. I hope everybody took the survey.
Which survey?
The one that Bandai dropped for Cross Time.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that everybody took the survey.
You should always do surveys. And actually put your thoughts. Take time in that box and actually put, like, not belligerent thoughts. Well thought out, constructive criticism.
The only way they'll make it better.
Mm-hmm. And I think that sadly the structure we have, they're working on it. They gave us our rundown this year, which is, I feel like the calendar they gave us is better than normal. They said, hey, through these dates, it's going to be this. Through these dates, it's going to be that. The Tamer parties. And I don't know if it's so much Bandai now, but prizing is Bandai, yes. But I think a lot of it's to do with the app and the tournament organizers. So we have limited tournament organizers, and if your local card shop isn't using the app, that affects your stuff a lot.
Yep.
They use a lot of data from that. A lot.
I'd say they use all the data from that, like, every time just to make sure that. I mean, if something is, if they don't have a whole lot of it, they're going to say, okay, well, this store is doing a whole lot of events and has a whole lot of people showing up, so we're going to send more stuff to them. Like, they don't want it to go to waste.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Key point is make sure that your store is using the app. And if they're not, tell them they need to use the app.
It's just like that with, like we said, even though it determines how much prizing you get, I also think that Bandai looks at it and goes, well, hey, there's, overall this many players showing up, period. So whether it be 32, 16, or whatever, they're looking and going, well, only 8 people showed up for Digimon. Only 17 people showed up for Digimon. And then I think they look at One Piece and they go, well, there's 36. There's 32. There's 15. I feel like if they're looking at it and they go, this is a set player base. There's this percentage of One Piece, worldwide. I think that also affects them getting the playmats and them getting the prize support and them getting the promos. It shows Bandai that it's like, okay, well, this is working. I don't think we found a structure that works for Digimon because we want to play Digimon so bad. It's like I keep signing up for regionals to go win a crappy deck box. You know, because I want to play. But there's like, well, the 500 people are showing up for this deck box and this, Angemon promo card from BT7 or this Angemon reprint card. Guys, I'm terribly sorry. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. I'm not saying we should boycott it. I'm just meaning that's how companies look at data. If they're selling out all these events still, I mean, they're like, well, the pricing seems to be fine. It's working. So that's like Drew said, it's really important to fill out these surveys and give that in some constructive advice because they go off them surveys. We didn't know because that's basically where the Ultimate Cup spawned from. Is from the original surveys like 2 years ago. With modes we would like to play, basically. What is the regional prize support? Bandai.com. Bandai. Digimon, Digital Monsters. A lot of people in the Discord have been showing some interest in Ultimate Cup as well. Why do you think that is?
I'd just say the people that are playing in it want to practice that play style as well.
Well, here, let me get on to my tinfoil hat. Not knocking anybody at all. I enjoyed my Ultimate Cups, both of them. And I actually signed up for 2 more. Remember the post you linked that showed basically that organization that was made the Ultimate Cup and then had more cards restricted or limited?
Yeah, somebody posted it in the Digimon Facebook group.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I looked at that one's way worse than Ultimate Cup. I was like, so basically you don't want to play any meta deck at all. Like nothing. Well, actually, no. Hunters could still play. Well, no, because it was Ultimate Cup rules. So basically, I was like, what decks do you bring to that event? If you looked at what was banned, Death X, Black War Gray, War Greymon. It's like, what are you playing at this event? Metal Garurumon. You're a Metal Garurumon. And then I was like, nope, that's banned. What would you play at an event like that? If we keep banning everything, not saying you have to like or enjoy the meta you're in. It's just, for me, for instance, Jessamon. Jessamon isn't always going to work. But I also can't take my opinion, Mario Fleece's opinion, Avol's opinion, Ride My Avatar, take our opinions with a grain of salt. If you enjoy a deck, you should play it. But you need to know the consequences. It may not always do good, or it may be sadly outpaced or whatever in this meta. Period.
And that comes down to what we watched. He posted it forever ago. Primitive Kage posted the.
But you should.
Yep. Play what you're comfortable with, but build it in a way that is playable versus the meta.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to beat all the meta. But I mean, for instance, War Greymon. A lot of Beelzebub players don't like playing against the new War Greymon. Because Beelzebub's not a deck you really want to sit in raising for, but it's not a deck you want to bring out of raising, especially if you can boost into 2 level 5s, and you're sitting there swinging over everything with raid, because then that makes them swing into security, and red does have a lot of bigger bodies. It's a board control that forces them to play out of their playstyle, especially if you can get more aggressive than them early on. It is putting cards in their trash, but if you're deleting level 4, level 3, level 4, level 5 all the time, it's building up their trash still, just not the way they want their trash to be building up, just maybe come back. A lot of people's playing Jessamon again. I play Jessamon again. I think it's a good deck. But also, just because I say it's good doesn't mean that it is. It's just a fun deck for me. And Drew, apparently.
I mean, I guess I just threw cards down.
See, guys? It just works.
Listen, that deck has some insane draw. Like,
Mhm.
I could not believe the stack that was in my hand while I was trying to play, and I'm just like, this is too many cards in my hand. But I can use them all. The options are there.
I can cheat a lot of these out if I can just find that one piece. Let me swing and draw some more.
Which is something you normally wouldn't say about a red deck.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
When I played it in our last online locals, people were asking me how many cards I had left in my deck. Because one of the games I lost, I actually decked out.
You decked out?
Yeah, with red. It was against Creepy Meal. I actually
so yeah, that really affected it, but the draw power is still insane.
Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt me though. It's like you're just putting Sister Mons in my trash. It's just I couldn't get them out of my trash fast enough. I mean, at one point I had 10 bodies on my board, but guess what? I couldn't draw a card the next turn to finish the game. And I died.
Unfortunate.
It really was. So this is something that kills me. Regional prizing. Like I'm trying to find. Here we go.
You have to fight to find information.
I know, and it sucks. Like, come on.
That's like last week when the last podcast. I was trying to stream it, and I was trying to find the prizing, and I'm just like, where do I go?
Well, I found it. I was very specific. Digimon TCG Regional 2023 prize support. Found it. So yeah, prize details are subject to change. Okay, well, where are they at? Here's all the stuff. So yeah, you get for participating, you get a 2023 champion deck case. Let's not get our hopes up. Looks like the same deck box.
Yep.
Championship memory gauge, a regional participant card set, an event pack. So we're going to get, looks like is a Guillemon, it's Growlmon. So you're going to get all that. So looks like we've got a Jessamon playmat for the championship. Cool. And then we're going to get Growlmon because Gallantmon is so relevant right now. Super relevant deck.
Well, I mean, Jessamon's really relevant right now too. My problem though is why all the red? Like, are there other colors in this game?
No. No.
Like everything is just, if you win a regional, you might as well start playing red because you ain't gonna be able to show off your stuff unless you're playing red.
Yeah, technically, guys, is relevant because you can use him, and you might want to use him, especially, when we get full Shine Gray. I am sad about seeing the Greymon with the Sec +1 not inheritable. I get it. I don't get me wrong, the Betelgemomon's cool, the Agunimon's cool, but I'm a red player. This is all stuff that I use. So I get where everyone else is coming from. It's like, ooh, why? There are some good stuff in the event packs, though. I'd rather have green Mimi than purple Mimi, but purple Mimi's good. all the plugins. I mean, there's a lot of cards in there that it's like, which I wish they could have done a little bit more with them. They're cool, but it's like I would have preferred some way different artwork, to be honest.
Listen, people were questioning why Tygo was in there, and let me tell you, that new Ace card is why.
What do you mean? I feel
But-
like he's good, period. You know how I feel about Rusty anyway. I'm tired of getting the freaking Rusty shaft.
I think Tyrannomon's gonna have his day.
For sure.
Soon.tm.
Yep.
Yeah, soon. If you should maybe already be playing him now. He's fun.
And he can be quite competitive.
Mhm.
He can turbo into level 6 from basically any level very
Yep.
quickly.
Very cheap.
But God help you if they have something out there that prevents Digivolve cost reduction.
Yeah.
What?
That's why you swing over it with a little Tyrannomon and then go to town.
Shh, stop. You're bringing up my PTSD of getting the Rusty shaft and how I didn't get to play the game.
You just you got to hit that needle spray and then swing over it with Tyrannomon and then go back to town.
Listen, if I got to play as many meta decks as I've got to play against Jank, like I know Bagra Army like the back of my freaking hand. I knew moves that Andrew was going to do before Andrew was going to do them with Tyrannomon. Like I didn't even want him to read the card effects to me anymore. I knew him so good. But that's the way I think that's the way you should be with the meta. It's just, we don't have a huge play group besides us, and we can't build. Well, we could build every deck, but
Listen, I'm sorting your bulk right now. It's piled up behind me. Listen, you can build every deck in this game right now.
Nah, I can't build Examon.
Okay. The one deck that has the 4 secrets that you need from a kind of underwhelming set anyway, so
Examon is a deck that I want to build, but I haven't because I'm still missing 3 Examons. And
just
other than the BT12 release week, every time in recent memory that we've done locals and I've won any kind of prizing, I have always gotten EX3 to try and get more Examons, and I still only have the one Examon that I got whenever I bought boxes when EX3 first came out. I've probably opened another box and a half's worth of packs and don't have another Examon.
Dang.
that's rough. I started this past week I grabbed EX2 chasing after a Crimson mode.
What were you going for the Crimson mode for? Were you wanting to build a deck, or are you wanting to sell it?
I mean, I'd keep it just to, have it. It's one of those. This could be nice.
Are you going to try that jank version of Security Control with Avenge Kid Mon and Crimson mode?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think we've got the new, is it EX4 that's going to have the Chaos Gallant that's red and purple?
Yeah, I think it is EX4.
Yeah.
That's looking pretty juicy, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's going to be it ain't going to do great. Well, it might. I don't know why they're still printing prize support that's the Guillaume online, but one day it'll be good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Buddy, that's some copium right there.
Yep.
I keep telling myself, I'm like, man, one of these days, Gallantmon's going to do something. And every time a new meta comes around, he gets some more support, and he's still mediocre as heck.
Yep.
It sucks. And that's what I'm talking about. We're still getting prizing. And then look at all the blue or like, what is it in this tournament pack set? We get blue, yellow, Angemon and Submarimon.
Yeah.
Poo poo. Why? Why? Why are you even giving me those cards?
Well, yeah, they're garbage, but at the same time, if they were very relevant cards, they would be,
Well, you
everybody
know
would be
what?
complaining about, oh, well, they're reprinting this in this set, and it's going to be hard to pull.
Okay. Well, look. It's a two-edged sword.
Yep.
If we don't get good prizing, I'm going to quit going to tournaments. I'll just wait and buy the alt art offline. I don't need a cool card that says championship finalist to know I win. You can just go look up the stats. You know?
Well, don't look at your stats on Band.TCG.
My stats are actually pretty solid. Thank you. I have a lot of fourth place finishes.
Out of 4?
No. I'll have you know. Actually, yeah, that's usually how it goes. No, but it's
Oh, did he die?
just like we can give our Discord people a better regional than Bandai can. I know I can. I know for a fact I can.
I would say that our men's mental health tournament was better prizing than actually anybody that even played got prizing, and they got deck boxes that were from BCW Supply and Dragon Shield, so that's already better than.
And I get there's 500 people and that's $30 a person, but by God, give me $30 a person, okay?
Yeah.
Give me 500 people at $30 a person. Let me see what kind of prizes I can get you. You hear me, Bandai? You hear me? I know I can get playmats just as good. I know people in the community that would love to make me 500 acrylic markers off Etsy and in our own little community. I know for a fact. Would we be able to handle it? Maybe not. But I know a lot of people that would love the chance to try to do it. And I know 180 people right now that would like to get a shot and play in it. Calling you out, Bandai. Get your crap together. On all your TCGs. Battle Spirits may have money, but it's a high tier to get into those money levels. You go look. Battle Spirits is trying to lure people in with those money prizing. And it is solid money prizing. But you got to think of how you're going to get to that Pro Tour. You got to drive to Timbuktu. There's one in Ohio and there was one in California. Okay. Regionals are at having more regionals and more in-person regionals. Your circuit's not going to do very well because the majority of us are going to be casuals. And we're not going, unless. And don't get me wrong, but I mean, I'm not going to drive 5 hours, 20 hours to go to a regional where I'm going to spend more money going. Because if you don't, they've got ways to do it. But, if you're not in that top 8, top 16, you're not going. So you can go to a grand tournament or whatever they are, and you can get in. But how much are you spending in the process? Like, if you ain't making money, if you're breaking even, it ain't worth it. And I get it. If you're having a good time, go ahead. I promote you. I support you. If you're having fun playing Battle Spirits, traveling everywhere, but it's just like me. Like, I had a meltdown this weekend. I'm going to regionals at Momocon, but I'm not going to the con. I'm just going for the And the main reason I'm going now, and I talked to the guys, is I want to meet some of the Cataclysmic gamers. I want to meet some of you all. I want to hang out with some of you all. I want to throw Digimon cards face to face with some of you all. That's the fun for it. My family's going to spend a little bit of time, and then we're going to go to Legoland if I don't make it to day 2. All right, so I made a big event out of it because besides the experience, I can go print off this Jessmon mat for $30. Sorry, Bandai, I can. And trust me.
Wait, you're going to Legoland Sunday?
Yeah.
So you're going to pull bricks all day on Saturday and then go play with bricks on Sunday?
Hey, you know what? both bricks will be beautiful. One, my kids will enjoy one way more than the other, but yes, I'll be building brick houses all week. I don't know. That's Nightmares is Mikey's soapbox for the week. It's you really need to enjoy the game that you're playing. So if you're not, like we talked about me, if I'm not enjoying Digimon right now, like I did say my 2 cents on why. But if I'm not enjoying it, I need to take a step back.
Yep.
There's One Piece, there's Battle Spirits, and there's Pokemon. I like TCG, so there's plenty of TCGs out there for me to play. So
listen, we pick up Pokemon, and there's a place like 5 minutes from your house that you could go play Pokemon every Saturday.
Every Saturday, they'd love to have me. They'd love to have a Digimon community. It's just their efforts are so high, their stakes are so high into Pokemon and Magic, they can't branch out. It would depend on us to do the Digimon community.
Right.
And it's hard to get people into that because Pokemon has an established system, a point system, league challenges, all this stuff where you get small prizes that can lead up to big prizes that you can get cool playmats and stuff like that. But with Bandai, there's no, what am I trying to say? From a competitive standpoint, in Pokemon, I like seeing my points. I like seeing like where I stand in my local community. I like seeing where I stand on a global level if I ever got that high. With Bandai, though, nobody cares about me. Nobody cares that I made 120th in the Ultimate Cup or 128th. Nobody gives 2 craps. You know what I mean? Nobody knows who Nightmares is. What I mean is when there's a points is person in your nature. This is, well, okay, I can speak for myself. Seeing those points matter. Winning matters. Having fun matters more. But like I said, I could literally make this all myself. Besides the cards. Actually, I could make the cards. Don't do that, guys. That's not fair. But yes, I mean, I could even make this same playmat. You could rip the design. I mean, I'm pretty sure this actual design, besides the championship logo they had on their website like a year ago, you can rip the file like you got it in a PDF file. So you could then have this Jessmon playmat exactly the way that looks. And now just Photoshop in a Digimon card game championship logo on it. There you go. Somebody will make it for you.
I'd rather see Wholehearted's version.
Oh, for sure. Or Usagi. Well, I've done seen Usagi's, and it's phenomenal. Her Jessmon's phenomenal. So I mean, I'd rather have that. But yeah, you gotta enjoy the game, and if you're not enjoying the competitive meta, take a step back.
Yep, that I can't remember the guy's name, but all those posts in the Digimon Facebook group, like
Take a break and come back.
Beelzemon, complaining about Beelzemon here, complaining about Beelzemon being top here. Listen, it's topping so much. I don't remember his name, but the reason that deck is showing out is, yeah, you're here, kinda. You keep cutting in and out.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the
I'm good.
reason that Beelzemon has such a big cut on the top cut in that pie chart is because this is Beelzemon. The Beelzemon starter deck is their, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh players, do you want to play this game competitively? Here you go, $25, and then buy a couple other cards, and you're playing the top deck. So all these people are just paying $25 to come start playing this game, which is good because it's growing the game. But that's why you see it everywhere as well.
That's true. It is the fastest track to a competitive deck.
I mean, they made it that way for a reason. They wanted people to get into the game and not feel like they're having to drop bank to play this meta deck that has cards from BT1 that they have to buy. I mean, right now, even EX2 Beelzemon's dropped down in price to where anybody could come in and say, hey, I used to play Magic or I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I want to start playing this game. Okay, let me buy the starter deck and some other cards, and I'm going to be playing one of the top tier decks.
And it's not like instant win either. You do have to think. Like you can lose the game for yourself if you just go willy-nilly and mill yourself out.
I also feel like the playstyle of Beelzemon is what a lot of players are used to in other card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, do you want to mill your deck that much? Do you not? What's the decision here?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about Beelzemon is that as long as you know what the effects do, the deck pretty much pilots itself. Like, it's very new player friendly.
Oh yeah.
Extremely new player friendly. However, it also has a high skill ceiling. Because whereas just about any new player can pick it up and do well, someone who is extremely skilled at piloting the deck can do ungodly things with that deck.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are tons of times where you want these mill effects, but then there are times it says you may on a lot of these cards. You may trash. And a good player is going to decide, do I need to trash 3 cards or do I need to let it be? Is my trash full enough for what I need to do? Do I need to mill it or do I avoid this effect this time and wait? I don't know what all you're wanting to playtest tomorrow, but somebody in the Digimon group actually posted a alternative Beelzemon deck that I'm throwing together to play against you tomorrow. So hope you get prepped for that.
Yeah. And that's another thing is, like I said, I want to, sadly, my playtesting group is so small. Even when out of our community, a lot of them don't have time to play. We have attracted our people. We have attracted we have our herd. we have attracted like minds, so our card group is basically people like us. So they enjoy Jank. They have full-time jobs. They work a lot. Their families. You know, they don't have as much time to play cards, or it's very sporadic. So we've built our community off like minds, and so of course out there's not a ton of decks. Like we basically all build the same deck. So it makes it tough to playtest sometimes.
I don't know. Luckily, between the 4 of us, at least, we all have different play styles and different decks. So at least we have a little variety with the core of us. But I mean, the last Saturday tournament, the online locals that we had, there was 2 poop decks on there that I didn't even expect to see poop. But
Yep. It's also hard for me, like I said, where we're limited on playtime. When we do come out to play, I don't want to sit here and be like, all right, let's fucking sweat. Let's go.
Yeah.
Especially Jordan. Jordan has a pretty busy work schedule, so I don't want him to come out and I'm like, hey, let's go to Mana House. I'm secretly prying out to be like, play real dicks, go hard. And when he's like, man, I just want to enjoy slinging some cardboard. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, poor Jordan's out this week. He's got upper respiratory problems. So
get better, Haggy.
Yep. It was from breathing all that machine Dramon dust.
Tough. You know what? Another thing, why haven't we had we haven't had Gamamon breathed down our throat yet? Do you think when we get towards the Rising Wind set, I'll be sick of seeing Gamamon as bad as I'm actually sick of seeing Greymon stuff?
I don't know. They've been very sparing with the Gamamon stuff, so.
I thought I'd never when I remember when Digimon first started, when you won an event, you got physical prize support. Do you get that anymore? Does anyone know? I don't think you do, but you used to get booster boxes for winning.
I think that was in the survey actually. What kind of prizing you would want to see, but I don't think so.
I want physical product. That's why. Don't get me wrong. Trophy cards, like I said, but I want a trophy card. I don't want a championship finalist card. I want the Nationals card. Like I would even take a metal one that I can't use. Like I want a freaking trophy. Like if this is maybe it's my age. Maybe I'm showing my age. I like that kind of stuff.
Listen, a trophy. They kind of brought it up in the server. A trophy would be a memory marker, something that you can show off. Hey, let me throw this down on the table. I did this without being in the deck, but also being able to show it off.
Yeah, store championship trophies.
Yep, those are. I mean, I like those trophies. Where are those at?
Like, what if I sat down beside of you and I just laid down my 4 Digimon trophies around my playmat? Top 16 trophies. Would that intimidate you?
I mean, a little bit, probably.
I'm just sitting there with my bag. And you know how like Pokemon players will have their little plushies and stuff? I'm just pulling out fucking Digimon trophies. Top 16, top 32, top 8. Just setting them around. Being like, all right, I'm ready to play.
Right now, the only trophy I have is a Beelzemon winner stamped Beelze Cup.
Yeah, you don't just have the winner stamped. You have the Beelzemon stamped winners.
Yep.
See, I have multiple winners Beelzemons, but the winners Beelzemons that I have don't have the Beelzemon Cup stamp on them.
Yeah. But we'll get there. It just takes time. All of Bandai's TCGs right now are still. Battle Spirits has been out in Japan for a long time, but here, all the card games besides Dragon Ball Super are still super young. Very young card games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's been out since. When did Yu-Gi-Oh drop?
98 over here, yeah. I think.
Yeah, so they've been running tournaments since 98. I used to go. Well, I don't remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, yeah, no, I did. I definitely played Yu-Gi-Oh at the Jacksboro Walmart whenever it was like a McDonald's or something.
Yep.
I used to play over there, and then I went and played. I didn't play Pokemon, but I went and traded sometimes. So, I mean, those are well-established games with prizing to show for it. Let's see. The TCG Yu-Gi-Oh dropped in 2002 in North America. So it's got 21 years of running tournaments to say, hey, here's you a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, I mean, I want the prizing to be better from Bandai for Digimon, but you can't expect that from a game that's been out for 2 years now.
Yep.
A game that is entering its 3rd year as we speak.
Yeah.
And it survived through COVID.
Yeah, that too.
With things being slowed down and hampered so much by COVID, it's technically like Digimon's really only been around for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I'd give it a year and a half. That's fair to say.
Like I said, I'm hard on it because I'm hard on Bandai. Because coming from Pokemon, coming from Magic, coming from the old school Dragon Ball Z card game, that's why I picked up Dragon Ball Super. And they still had a fairly good tournament, structure. I'm hard on Bandai because that is just something that I have grown accustomed to, is the way they play and stuff. And like we said, it's super young. We're even glad it survived through COVID. So it's like, I guess I don't need to be as harsh because they're learning what their player base wants. And it's just like, do we have a higher casual base? Because, it's weird to me that people collect Digimon. Because I collect Pokemon, but I also play Pokemon. But I don't collect Digimon. I use them all to play. So, like collector base, casual base, competitive base, I guess they are trying to weed it out and see who's who and what's what. So it's going to take more time. So hopefully it gets better.
I just feel like your frustration with the prize support is deserved because they are dropping games left and right. Like this is Battle Spirits is what the third game they've dropped, third or fourth game they've dropped, and now they're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pushing it even harder with the cash prizing, while you're over here getting a paper deck box.
Yep. And prize packs like that. I don't need any more Goonimons. I don't need any more XV Mons.
We don't need any more red or blue. Let's show the other guy some love.
Like, give me a regional stamped freaking Shoutmon Cross 7 Superior mode. Give me a alternate art Darkness Boggermon. Like, give me something that is at least like not only has collectible value, but is also just cool. Like, you need to restructure your like, I think the Gold Sistermons, even though it's Sistermon, I think the Gold Sistermons is a start. I think having the old school Gold Magnamon is a start for the Tamer parties. With the gold cards and all this stuff. I think we're working towards that. It just takes some time.
Exactly. I think but that goes back to the survey again. Take the survey. They are reading this feedback.
They better be.
Well, they did. I mean, they did with Rising Wind.
They made it. Huh?
They listened with Rising Wind. We were upset, like we, as in the Western player base, was upset that we were not getting all of those reprints included with Rising Wind, and they were like, okay. You want the reprints, we understand. We'll delay the set and add the reprints.
Which, I mean, from a business standpoint, I don't understand why they weren't.
250 characters. Mikey wants 250 pages.
Yeah, I know they were really going to go for a different package structure?
I just feel like from a business standpoint, you want those reprints for all these new people coming into the game. Like,
you do, but I felt like they were going to cut it up and you were going to get like the core boosters with Battle Spirits, the set boosters with Dragon Ball Super, like I said in the podcast. I felt like that's what they were wanting to do. They were going to be like, oh, here's Rising Wind, and here's a reprint set booster.
I could see that because it's mostly Ghost Game stuff that's in outside of the reprints. It was mostly Ghost Game stuff.
So if you didn't want the Ghost Game stuff, you didn't have to buy these little bitty core sets. If you wanted reprints, you could wait a couple months and that was my thought process. That's what I think. Well, we'll never know now. But I still stand strongly behind that they've done it with every other game besides One Piece, I think. I don't think they've done it with One Piece. But they literally dropped it with Battle Spirits right off the bat. I felt like they were going to do something like that with because I said give you something with it and then give like a promo and then 3 or 4 packs that had those set cards in there. And now that we have these acrylic markers, to me, that could be something else. You could get an acrylic marker, a memory gauge, and then 3 packs. There's plenty of ways that Bandai can make money. They just need to be smarter on how they deliver the packages. Email me, Bandai. Email me. I'll help you. I'll make thousands of people mad, but they will also spend thousands of dollars. Because they want a specific acrylic memory marker and they're all random.
I mean, that's how you sell it.
But that would also make a lot of us mad, and you know it.
Oh, yeah. There'd be a lot of people upset about it.
It's just like there was a whole group that was mad about the gift sets, that came with the old acrylic markers and the promo reprints of Agumon, Diaboromon, and stuff. They were like, why don't they just have the boxes you want, just like the adventure boosters? Like they have the promo on the front, you buy the one you want, and then forget the rest. It's because they wanted you
they make their money on chance. Yeah, they make their money on chance.
That's how all TCGs work. And they've dabbled in all of it. So they look at all these statistics. They've gave us because, Pokemon's done it forever. The little figurines. They gave us a figurine set. They gave us a promo alt art set of a card. And then they've gave us memory marker sets with tokens. They've made a bunch. They made the starter deck bundle, the advanced starter deck bundles or whatever. With Beelzemon, they made the Jesmon Ragnarlord sets. They've thrown a bunch of stuff at us to just collect data. So I know they're sitting there looking at all these numbers going, well, this sold crappy. So we probably won't see another Jesmon Ragnarlord, starter deck bundle like that anytime soon. Beelzemon, we will probably see more of it in the future. For sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll see more of that. They have to find their way. What do we got? Anything else this week that we want to talk about? Okay. I feel like you needed the locals therapy, even though it wasn't very therapeutic for you. I feel like you needed that, and I think this episode of the podcast kind of brought you back to
reality. A little bit of podcast venting.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I need it. I need it to vent my old man rage.
That's fair. I mean, with your experience in TCGs, I mean, you could go back and you've got a ton of play in other TCGs, so it's fair to question a lot of things that Bandai's doing.
Insert.
What was that you cut out?
Dadgum internet. Uh, these podcast listeners are about to get to hear circa 2012 Mikey here in a minute. My internet don't quit frigging up.
Taking you back to the Halo 3 days.
Yeah, start hearing me smashing stuff. Just raging. Yeah, I have nothing else. I'm done. I have nothing else.
All he had to say was BRB summoning demon.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, so before we wrap up, I want to thank our sponsors of the podcast. We've got Wholehearted. If you need a playmat or some sick art done, go check out Wholehearted. His website, wholehearted.com. HOLEHRTD. He has playmats. They're all sick. He actually put up the Tyrannomon one he did for me the other day. So go check him out. SecCheck10, 10% off your order. Who else do we have? Yes. Who else do we have, Mikey?
Oh, you don't want me to do this one. It's going to come out like a robot. Either way, it's going to be fast. Go check out our sponsor, Prismatic Defender, at www.prismaticdefender.com to get all your sleeves or custom MTG tokens. You can use SecCheck15 at checkout to save 15% off your order, and anything over $50 gets free shipping inside the United States and Canada. So don't break the bank to bling out your jank. Check out prismaticdefender.com today.
Hey, you didn't robot.
Of course I didn't.
I feel like I feel like Discord. I feel like your internet knew when you were about to rage, and it just kind of slowed you down and brought you back to reality. You're hating on your internet, but it actually helped you today.
As I watch my ping jump like my blood pressure. Hope everybody went to bed.
What? Is that what happened? Is that why your internet stopped going?
198. Yeah. Everyone's slowly leaving.
People are leaving. Kids are going to bed. Things are calming down. Amazing that it waited until the end of the podcast to do that. But, that's how it be sometimes.
It knew. AT&T knew what I needed.
Well, this has been a slightly less awaited for episode of the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast. We appreciate you listening, as always, and we will catch you next time, hopefully with our full repertoire of members. Get well soon, Haggy.
Yeah, and we'll get to find out how Mikey did at the regional.
At regionals. Peace.
Peace.